My name is Peter Bang. I am going to talk about the midterm learning reflection of the virtualization for enterprise system administrator. This is the process in my presentation, what I learned in this program, and the node block I made, and conclusion. First of all, I would like to start talking about the benefit of virtualization. Look at this picture. One of the main benefits is security, because I am able to protect the data from many external attacks with the help of firewall, encryption, and backup. Second is a good economical system that I'm able to use one physical system to run multiple operating systems and applications on virtual machine. And there are more advantages of virtualization, like minimized or eliminated downtime, increased IT productivity, efficiency, agility, and responsiveness, faster provisioning of application and resources. I'm going to show 3 scenarios where virtualization is useful. One is server consolidation, a way to make a more efficient IT environment by combining servers or replacing legacy servers with virtual systems. The business is able to save the cost. Next scenario is system and development testing. This is a best practice to test old and new operating system or new application on isolated virtual machines. Last scenario is disaster recovery. This is a best practice to involve an application and allow a user to fail over to virtualized work node. This image shows the base step required to create a new virtual machine. Depending on what resource I have, I can obtain a virtual machine by using one of the following methods. First part. If you have imported some virtual machine template, you can create a new virtual machine by using a virtual machine template. Middle part. If you have imported some ISO file, you can create a new virtual machine from the installation media and then install the guest operating system by using the ISO file. Last part. If you want to start the virtual machine using pre-boot execution environment over a network, you can create a network bootable virtual machine. Last, you can also import pre-built virtual machine image directly. I want to talk about storage pool and how to create and configure storage pool. Storage pool is a collection of physical hard drive. A storage pool enables storage aggregation, elastic capacity expansion, and dedicated administration. After creating one storage pool, I'm able to create one or more virtual disks. These virtual disks are also referred to as storage spaces. Then I can create volumes on these virtual disks and be able to utilize them. From this section, I'm going to deploy one of the storage pools using the attached 3 hard drive. I create a storage pool on Windows 2022 Server virtual machine. This is a storage for utility video that I made. I created a new storage pool using 3 hard drives that I was attached to this Windows Server 2022 virtual machine. And then using this storage pool, I create the data mirroring storage. Data mirroring is the real-time operation of copying data from one location to a local storage medium. There are 3 types of hypervisor. First, native hypervisor. This image shows the native hypervisor architecture. This hypervisor runs directly on the hardware. It located between the hardware and guest operating system. A native hypervisor loads even before the OS and interacts directly with the kernel. Native hypervisor applications are Hyper-V, EXXI, KVM. Next, embedded hypervisor. This embedded hypervisor is a hypervisor that supports the requirement of embedded system. The requirements for embedded hypervisor are distinct from hypervisor targeting server and desktop application. An embedded hypervisor provides a virtual computing environment for operating system used on embedded hardware. Third, hosted hypervisor. A hosted hypervisor typically installed on top of existing operating system is sometimes called Type 2 hypervisor. It relies on the host machine pre-existing operating system to manage code to CPU, memory, storage, network resource. This Type 2 hypervisor application Workstation, Oracle VM, Parallels, Fusion. Last, what I learned in this program is to deploy and implement virtual desktop infrastructure. This image shows the VDI topology I made. There are many benefits of VDI, such as remote access, cost savings, centralized management, and security. The node block I made in this program. First, it is hard for me to understand the hypervisor architecture. Second, it is difficult for me to utility the components of a hypervisor based on the best practice. Third, I feel slow to learn the new technologies such as VDI. Conclusion. What I learned from this program is to understand virtualization technology, hypervisor-based architecture, the benefits of hypervisor environment, and to practice the utility of VDI environment. What I had to do for my future is to organize the content of this program and to learn the related technology of virtualization and to deploy and test the best practice of virtualization environment. Thank you.